Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. David Snowpeck here from Snowpeck Games. How's everybody doing? I see a couple of eyeballs down there. And Aknakos, welcome. Yeah, some networking goodies. We're going to be doing playtesting of some new builds of Retro Tank Party, and we're going to be working on a chatbot in Godot. Both things are networking. I don't know if that was exactly the networking that you're hoping for, Aknakos, but I think it's going to be a good time. So yeah, I don't know who is there unless you say hello, so please say something in the chat so I know I'm not talking to the corner of my office like a crazy person. Hey, Agnagos. We like to start these streams by playtesting Retro Tank Party a little bit. I'm not gonna put you guys through playtesting the release version, which works mostly fine, because I don't want to waste too much of the time on the stream. Hey, Osman Pro HD, how's it going? And the clean, cool. We got a good crew. So we're just gonna playtest the new builds of the in progress version that's switching to rollback and prediction, network synchronization. Let me get you guys the links. I'm going to just pull them out of GitLab CI over here. From the most recent build. We only have Windows and Linux builds. I haven't gotten the macOS build going yet. I'll copy this link and throw it in here. So that was what? Windows? So Windows and where is Linux? I see web, I see, here we go. This must be the Linux one. All right, we'll copy the link, Linux. And for folks who are on macOS who cannot otherwise play because I don't have a build, I do have a new web build as well, which is at today's date. We'll go to 7/30/01. Copy that out of here. I'm going to play on the Linux build because I'm on Linux and I want to see how well that works. So let me just boot that up. I'll get us a match ID. Folks can start getting connected, and then I'll tell you about what I've been working on for the last week and what I'm thinking about for working on this stream. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's funny because Godot doesn't require you to put anything in the beginning of your game that says your game was built with Godot, like some game engines do. I think like if you're using the free version of Unity or free version of Game Maker, you have to put that in. But with Godot, you're not required to. You can just turn it off. And I wanted to put in an even bigger one, an even fancier one, because I really wanted to show this is built with Godot. I don't have to put this in there. I just love Godot. All right, here's the match ID. And yeah, boot up the game in whichever version works for you. Once you're logged in, go to join a match, copy and paste this match ID. And while I'm waiting for folks to get in there, let's chat a little bit here. I've been working most of the last week on updating the build system for Retro Tank Party, the build on GitLab CI. By the way, if you're interested in setting up GitLab CI to do automated builds of your game, I have a tutorial series about that. So go check out my YouTube channel. There's a playlist for Godot and GitLab CI. So what I've been trying to do is set it up to have it build Godot as part of the build process, because we are putting some custom code in a custom Godot module as part of the project. That's where the network physics is going. And so every time we change that code in the Git repo, I want GitLab CI to automatically rebuild Godot and then make the exports based on this custom build. And let me see if I can find one that worked. Of course, I was doing so much with this. There are plenty of failed builds. Yeah, why are all of these failed? I know I had some successful ones. Let me go back maybe to the third page. When are these from? These are all rollback physics from 2 days ago. I was doing a lot of experimental stuff over the last couple of days, so the last time that it like succeeded might be a little further ago. Weird. Well, I could show you one of the failed ones, which will give you kind of the general idea of how this is going to work. I just can't believe I don't have a passing one. like readily available to show. Well, look at one of the failed ones. So it has this extra build stage here where it does, oh, these failed ones are all Steam. I have to figure out how to make the Steam build work. It's maybe I'll talk about that, but it's been kind of a nightmare. So the way it works, let me actually show the code, is in the code, there is a Godot directory, or there isn't in this branch. There is in the Godot Physics CI branch, which is where I've been working on the GitLab CI stuff. There's a Godot branch, which has a special file download URL, which says where to download Godot. Usually this would just be like a direct download to one of the official releases. But in my case, I have kind of like a fork of Godot that I'm using, so it's pointed to a download for my particular fork. And then inside here, there's this modules directory, which is the modules that are part of my project. I also would like to have like a patches directory here. So if there's like a PR that it fixes a bug or something that you need for your project, you can download the patch and drop it in the patches directory, and it would like automatically use it to build Godot. And so then it builds these modules, and I have GitLab CI set up so that it will only try to build Godot if anything in this directory changes. Otherwise, it won't even do it. And that's because building Godot can be slow. If you do it with one of the shared GitLab CI runners, it takes like 45 minutes. It's crazy. But I have it set up to launch 16 core machines on AWS to build Godot, and it can build it in 10 minutes. But also, I don't want it to do that every time, even though it only takes 10 minutes, because I have to pay for those, right? It's like 15 cents an hour or something for those machines because I'm doing spot instances. So anytime something changes in that directory, it rebuilds Godot, uploads it to S3, and then the export builds, rather than the export jobs, I should say, I'm using the word build way too much, rather than using the normal Godot export templates, will then pull in the custom ones that it just built. And if we go look at the pipeline, these didn't even run because this failed. Hard to show when it's kind of in this half-working state, but I'm almost done with that. I just have to figure out Steam building and macOS. And then I'll probably make a tutorial about this in the end to go in my Godot and GitLab CI series. Does anyone get in here? Whoa, okay. There's some big latencies. Oh, what's going on in chat? Aknakos, the Godot intro is great. I wonder if it's worthwhile to share for more people to use it. Yeah, it's not mine, actually. I got that from someone on itch made that. The link is in the credits for the game. If I don't want to exit out there because it'll quit our match, but in the main menu, you can go to credits, and in there, there's a link to the intro. You should turn on your chat thing so you don't have to open YouTube on your second screen. Yeah, I mean, I have chat open on a second screen over here. No matter what, I would have to see my chat on a second screen. I can't see it like overlaid with what I'm actually doing. Only you guys get to see that. We're all ready, Osman Pro says. Is there a reason to use the custom build templates instead of the official ones? Yeah, because I'm making changes to Godot. The network physics, which I think we're going to go back to working on next week, are written as a Godot module. Yeah, definitely check out that intro. It's good. I like it. There's a number of other ones out there that other contributors have made, because we all want to support the Godot. We want to wear the Godot on our sleeve. All right, so let's try this. Looking at the RTTs here, the Clean and Osman Pro HD are definitely having the highest RTTs. If these stay in the 300-ish range, the game should actually be totally playable. When it's spiking up to the 400 and above, that's when problems start. So let's give this a try. Let's see how it holds up. All right, we'll just do a short battle royale. If the game even lasts long enough to get to the next part, we'll do the desert, do something a little different. All right. When we didn't have a... Ooh, attempting to regain sync. We are not starting out on the best foot here. What is going on? Here, I'm going to turn on the output here. So it looks like peer ID 4 is the most behind. Everyone else is ahead. Ooh, this is bad. This is bad. I'm going to try and shoot Osman Pro over here while I'm... Ooh. Not good. We're just attempting to regain sync like every other second. Osman's going to just destroy me. because I can't move. No, this isn't going to work. Who was peer number 4? I don't remember who was the 4th on the list. But it appears peer number 4 has gotten way behind. So I'd be curious, for everyone, just let me know, remind me of what region you're in. I remember Osman Pro is in the Middle East. I don't remember, unfortunately, where the Clean and Aknakos are located. And let me know which operating system you're playing with. Because this is totally unplayable. So that data will be interesting. But yeah, look at these RTTs on peer number 4. An RTT of 1,500 milliseconds. That's like a second and a half. So the Clean's in Central EU. Windows. Nobody is doing the web version. Because I could understand the web version slowing us down a little bit. But what's slowing us down here is this RTT to... look at this. 6,900 milliseconds? That's 6 seconds of delay. 6-second ping. Oh, this is horrible. This is horrible. So, I don't know how to deal with these kind of RTTs. Also, though, I don't know exactly if those RTTs are totally network related or if they're related to the problems we've been having with flow control with WebRTC. In any case, I would like to try doing a match without whoever was peer number 4. I don't know if any of you guys... Aknakos is in East Canada on Windows. Okay. Osman Pro HD. Yeah, sorry, Osman Pro. We just don't have a good connection. I wonder if you guys played without me. Well, Aknakos is in Canada, so we're both in North America. But I'd be interested to see if the EU people, together with Osman Pro HD, had a much better experience. Because the weak link here might be, you know, the data going across the ocean to North America. So yeah, let's kill this. This is just a disaster. Let's do a new match. And first, let's try one without Osman Pro HD. And then, if you guys don't mind, I would love to see how it works for Osman Pro HD together with the Europeans to see how that works. So I'll throw this new match ID in the chat. Elliot says, I don't think there's a fix for 6 seconds. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if there's something you could do for less than 1 second. I mean, ooh, what happened there? All right, I guess I need a new match ID because that crashed. Or at least exited me out. Yeah, I mean, so anything 500 milliseconds and below should theoretically work if there is no packet loss. If there is packet loss, then we'll have problems. So Osman Pro HD, for this one, don't join. Let's do another one after this where you play with the Europeans, and I'd like to see if that's actually playable, because the weak link might be, you know, the traffic coming over to North America here. So let's give this a shot. So the Clean's still kind of jumping up there, but hopefully this will still be playable. I guess I'll leave this up here for a little bit. Yeah, okay, so the Clean, I saw a little bit of rubber banding on the Clean. I'm going to hang out by the Clean so I can try and watch how bad the rubber banding is. Yeah, I can see that rubber banding. Can you guys see that? I don't know how much comes through on the stream, but you kind of see him move forward and then, like, jump back. It's not, you know, so bad that we wouldn't be able to play, but it is definitely noticeable. Ooh, I won? How did I win? Aknakos is still here. There's plenty of bugs in this version. I haven't fully ported it over to work with this network synchronization. So who's down here? The Clean? Yeah. Well, let me look at the numbers, see how far behind we are. So we're doing about 5 approximately frames of prediction. It does appear like there is a little bit of packet loss because I can see these remote lag and local lag numbers jumping around a little bit. Whereas if there was no packet loss, they would probably stay tighter. I guess it's hard to tell the difference between a little bit of packet loss and like really fluctuating latencies. Yeah, so I'm seeing no rubber banding on Eknako, so he's in Canada, we're both in North America. All right, so I guess the builds work. We learned one thing. We learned one thing. Um, and yeah, I was really hoping that that the not web version would hold up better, but I guess we're getting kind of the same results. So that's interesting. So Osman Pro HD and the Clean, if you guys don't mind trying a match together, I'd love to hear how that goes. Because you know, you guys are much closer, even though I know Osman Pro HD says his internet isn't that great. Let me look at what's been going on in the chat. Elliot says, you got this. It's definitely my internet. Yeah, right now his internet is very bad. Yeah. But still, I would like to know how it works in that region. So if you guys don't mind, that would be really cool. Let me know in the chat how it goes. Otherwise, Retro Tank Party is not the focus of today's stream. I'm hoping that next week I'm going to have finished up all this build system stuff, and we'll be back to working on the network physics. And because we have the new build system, that will mean that whatever I'm doing in physics, we'll be able to quickly, you know, in 10 minutes, make a build for Windows, Linux, and hopefully Mac. So we'll be able to make changes on stream and test them like we used to, like the old days. All right, so today, I would like to continue working on our chatbot. So last time, what we got going was this chat screen here. Aknakos, curious, will there be a spectating feature in the game? So yes, that is one of the things I want to add so badly. And Ricardo, Sir Tanksalot, had this really amazing suggestion on Discord that we should have a chatbot mode of Retro Tank Party that will watch the chat for match IDs. So like if it saw this match ID, it could automatically join that match in spectator mode, which would be so cool because then I could just kind of leave that running during stream. And if anyone plays a game, I could just sort of, you know, bring it up in OBS and like put it in the corner. We can check out how the different matches are going. But yes, absolutely. I want to get spectator going because I also would like to run like little tiny tournaments. We could do like weekly, bi-weekly something tournaments. And that is coming after we finally get the rollback and prediction totally stable, which I think is probably at least another 4 weeks away. I wish it was sooner, but I think that's kind of where we're at. Anyway, this running right here is the thing we built on last stream. It is a Godot app reading from the Restream API. So if someone chats on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter through Periscope, or what else are we on? We're also on Steam, but there is no chat integration with Steam. But if anyone chats on any of those things, it comes into Restream, and then our Godot app will pick it up and put it up here. I would like to take that same kind of functionality that we're watching chat and do something else cool with it. The clean is destroying you, oh no! What I would like to do is add some chat functionality to that main screen that I always put when I'm starting my streams, this countdown screen. So right now, all it does is I put this and it says stream starting in 5 minutes. It's boring. And I would like to have something more interesting happening in that first like 10 minutes before my stream starts, and I would like to encourage people to chat. So my kind of end game, my dream idea is that for everyone who chats, I'd like to generate a little character for them. And I want to use this asset pack from Kenny, which has these sort of modular little characters. There's like a couple of different bodies and like some different shirts and some different pants and some different hair and some different hats and some little weapons and stuff. So like when someone chats, we automatically generate like a little character for them and put their name above it and kind of have the character sort of like mill around. And I'm thinking we could make environments for that using this other Kenny pack, or actually this is the big one. So this is, I think that these are compatible. We'll have to check. We'll have to make sure that these character sprites fit well with these environment tiles, but make like a little environment for them to kind of like walk around in and do random stuff. And here's kind of like this supplementary asset pack from Kenny, which has indoor things and beds and tables and candles and other junk. So that's kind of my end game. I would think that I think that would be really, really cool. If you guys have any other ideas of how we could make this chat thing work, here, let me see what's going on in chat actually right now. The Clean says, very playable. I have a host advantage. You actually shouldn't have a host advantage. In this current network synchronization, if someone gets ahead, like if they are predicting less frames for the other, it will actually start skipping frames on the player who's ahead to make it so that the delay is the same between all clients. I bet it was moving all over the place on your screen. Clean says, not very much, 2 tank lengths at most. Cool. Nakos. Something like Vimlark streams. Yeah, Vimlark has, he made that like monkeys with guns game or whatever. And so on his stream, he has like little monkeys with, little different colored monkeys like milling about. I haven't actually like, I've been meaning to search and see if he built that or like how he built that or what the story is with that. I'm sure he built it, I guess, because it has his sprites in it. But yeah, so something like that. You're doing the same thing on the screen. That was your screen. The Clean is just too good. Well, I'm glad it's working. So it sounds like you guys are getting some rubber banding because things are bouncing around a little bit, but it's playable when you're in the same region. So yeah, I'm happy by that. I'm happy about that. I'm heartened by the fact that it's working well for you guys in the same region. I think for the final game when we actually release it, we'll have to put something in that beginning screen where it's showing the RTT times. And like if the RTT times are over a certain value, like highlight them in red or something, and very strongly suggest to players that if your RTT times are too high, that maybe you shouldn't be playing with that person. Or another thing, I was thinking about if the entire match is being dragged down by a single peer, that we could have a thing where once it fails to resync over a period of time, rather than just giving up on the whole match, so long as that peer who is slowing everything down isn't the host, we could boot them, which sounds mean, and I don't like the idea of booting people, but I don't know, it's better than killing the whole match, you know? And since it is possible for people to play together, just not necessarily all of the people, you know, if people are in different regions, I don't know. I hope that's acceptable to players. All right. So, I told you guys my end goal for this. I would like to start a little simpler though, because I have a tendency to get to the end of the stream and have nothing working. So what I'd like to do is kind of go in stages and build like a little thing that works and then iterate it on a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. So whenever the stream ends, we'll have something that works. So I would like to start with not having the players mill about an environment, but instead just having them sort of like floating around the screen and like bouncing off of each other. And the simplest way to start that is to just make some boxes, you know, that are moving around the screen and bouncing off each other. And then the next step, we'll replace the boxes with the randomly generated characters. And then if we have time, we'll start having the randomly generated characters mill around in a kind of environment. So that when I start next week's stream, like I can actually, you know, use this stuff that we're building, which I think would be really cool. Oh, and I had some other ideas about, so these items, you can see there's like weapons over here and stuff. It won't let me zoom in any further, unfortunately. But over here, there's like little axes and spears and things. And I was wondering if like it would be fun to like award them to people who did like the most chatting, or maybe if people come and chat in that first 10-minute window before the stream starts, then like they'll get like a cool weapon or a cool hat or something. I don't know. So that's all the ideas I had. Let's start building something. All right, so how to start? I think it would be easiest to start with kind of a new scene where we have our boxes bouncing around. I know I tried to start on that last time. I guess I was just going to put names in boxes. Let's just put straight up boxes because they're going to be replaced with characters. And maybe we'll make a new little directory to put them in. We'll say character. We'll say characters. Or yeah, we're not starting with the characters, we're starting with the chats. Okay, we'll say like we'll make a new scene here. It's gonna be like I don't know, we'll say chat floating characters. Sounds good. It will be a 2D scene we are going to rename this to match the name of the file, characters, and let's, I guess we'll start making the character scene to the character, where the initial version of this scene will just be a box. Because I want them to bounce off of each other, we'll make some kinematic bodies, kinematic body 2Ds. For now, they will be represented by a texture, or no, I'm sorry, a color rect. Until we put the sprite in there. The color rect will be a box, although I want the box to be the same size as the characters so that when we switch them in, we don't have to like resize any of our junk. So let me download this Kenny asset pack. I probably should have done that before the stream, but I did not. Consider a donation. I should donate to Kenny. His art is in most of my games, at least in some form or fashion. Even if it's just sounds or something, I have all his stuff in all my games. So let's just extract this. That was called Roguelike Characters Pack. Make a Kenny directory. I think I just deleted my Kenny directory. I was freeing up space to do all those big Docker image builds. What was it? No, it was Roguelike Characters Pack. All right, let's see what's going on in chat. Hey, MC Goomp. Osman Broichi. Basically, for me, it'll be saying, get better internet. Yeah. Sorry. Osman Broichi. Will those characters be part of your chat thing? Yeah, that's the plan. That they'll be in the chat thing. Aknakos. Imagine that there is some coin in the start. Maybe you gain over time and you use chat to buy weapons or hats or buy new chat macros where I can say, move there or follow that person. That is a cool idea, Aknakos. Yeah, so the idea is definitely to do some kind of chat bot like the Twitch Play kind of stuff. I don't, it depends on how deep I want to go down this rabbit hole. But yeah, definitely like along those lines. Those are great ideas. Keep them coming. All right, so let's take a look at this asset pack. We've got sprites. We'll take a look at them in gthumb. Oh, I will make this bigger so you guys might actually be able to read what I'm typing. Gthumb. What do we got? I think we're going to have to open this up in Pixel Art Tool to really get a feel. I think we want the transparent one, though. I have Pixelorama around here somewhere. I don't usually use Pixelorama. I usually use Asprite, but it's a pain to boot up because I have to like boot it up through Steam, and we'll just use Pixelorama, which I would like to use more of. It's open source. I would prefer to use the open source tool. So let's get Pixelorama. Let's open up the transparent. Sure. And let's see how big these sprites are. We'll go to some of the pre-built ones. How do I scroll around? That's a very slow way to scroll around. Can I middle click? There we go, middle click. And we'll get a selectee tool, see how big you are. That is what? 15 by 15? So I guess 16 by 16 is probably the actual size that this is intended to be used for, given a little bit of white space. Although it's a little weird. Let me zoom in. It's a little weird exactly how this is lining up. So this side is flush, and this side is flush, and that gets us, let's try this again. 15 by 15. I wonder why Kenny went was 15 by 15. Maybe he just liked the way it lined up with an odd number of pixels across, so he could put something in the center, I guess. Although he isn't putting anything in the center. It's all kind of split like that. Unless does Pixelorama count from 0? 0, 0 to 1. Oh, okay, I'm reading this wrong. All right, so it starts at 0. Programmers start counting at 0. Okay, so it's saying it's from 0, 0 to 15, 15, which is 16 pixels. All right, that's just my inexperience with Pixelorama. All right, so we're going to make these squares here be 16 by 16. I guess that's the rect size, 16, 16. Although, so that's their actual size. We might be displaying them on screen bigger, though, because we'll want to blow them up. We want to see the pixels, feel the pixels. So let me see how big that is on our screen. Let's just run this scene, and that should open it up in our kind of natural. What? All right, something went wrong there. Let's try that again. This time without it being full screen. It might have gone weird because it was in full screen. Okay, that is too tiny. So let's double it. Maybe let's even bring in one of those sprites so we can get the size. Even if we're not going to use it right away, let's bring in one of those sprites. So I guess we have to copy that into our project here. So copy. That was. Oh, I just opened it right in the. All right. Probably should have made a separate directory for that, but roguelike, we want transparent, and this will be, we'll say characters.png. And so, what do I want to do? I want to find that. I want to adjust its. Why don't I see it though? Because I didn't put in assets. All right, I meant to put in assets. All right, so there's the characters. I want to adjust its import settings. We want it to be 2D pixel art, re-import, and then we are going to drag it onto the scene. And how many tiles is that across, Kenny? What have you done to us? I guess let's just try some numbers and see how close we get. Although that's gonna, if we're off by 1, we might not notice that we're off by 1. So let's try and count them. Let's try and count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, I think. 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 55. So we'll go to animation. We'll say it has 55 H-frames. That actually looks about right. That looks right. It's really hard to tell when you're off by 1 on such a big sprite sheet, but I'm going to take a close look. It does sort of give me the feel that we're off by 1. Maybe we should look at the total image size and just divide it by 16. That might be the smart way to do this, rather than trying to count. So is that telling us the whole dimension? Okay, so 918. What is 918 divided by 16? Let's get up our reverse Polish calculator here, and we'll put some decimal places on there just in case it is not totally even. What are you doing to us, Kenny? 918. Okay, what is 920 divided by 16? Still not a round number. 55 times 16. So we're definitely off. So 57 by 16. 12. Let's go look at the edge of this and see if we can crop it. Let's go check this out. I'll zoom out. Get there faster. All right, so I guess Kenny left us some blank space on the edge. So let's crop this to 912, and then I guess we have to deal with the height as well. Because 203 is not divisible by 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so 16 times 12, 192. All right, we will crop this. He didn't leave us any space on the bottom, though. Kenny, what have you done? What have you done? We might need to do some significant editing to this sprite sheet in order to get it to work. Because how can this be 203? How can the height be 203? If these are all fitting, 16 by 16 pixels. And are there gaps? Okay, so it looks like there's a 1 pixel vertical gap between these two sprites. So, Kenny, seriously. Thank you for your art, but this has made a funny situation for us. Let me see what's going on in chat before I dive into solving this problem. Seems like 1616 with 1 pixel gap. Thank you, Clean. You got it before I did. I should have checked. Oh man, I missed a whole lot of chat. Sorry, guys. Osman Pro HD, did you learn networking from the Network Plus course of CompTIA? No. I am not familiar with the Network Plus course of CompTIA. I'd be interested in learning more. No, I've basically learned networking by doing various networking projects over the last 20 or so years. The Clean, most of the online games show ping times, not RTT. It may be confusing if latency time is not labeled. So I'm not entirely clear on what the difference is between ping and RTT. I kind of think of them as equivalent. If someone has a good explanation of how ping is different than RTT, I would love to hear it. Because RTT is you send a message, as soon as the other side receives it, they send it back, and you measure the time that it took. And that's what I think ping is, right? Latency is half of RTT, but it's really hard to measure latency without physically being on both ends, because how can you only measure one side of the latency? Like you kind of don't have enough information unless you're also synchronizing clocks. Okay, if you're synchronizing your clock across the network, then you can measure latency. But so ping is one-way time? That doesn't sound like a ping, but okay. Yeah, I mean we can divide the RTT by 2. But then that's like an average of the latency in both directions. So RTT divided by 2 is the average of the latency both ways. If ping is only one of the ways, which way is it? Yeah, so the ping command on the command line gives RTT times, which is why I thought of them as the same. Anyway, we just need to give some indication to the player that that things are not in the way that they should be. MC GoWump likes Kenny's art. I like Kenny's art too. It's good. Oh, Osman Pro HD is saying we can grab the individual characters from the sprites folder. Let's go do that. Then we can just pull in a sprite and be done with it. So what do we got? There is no sprites folder. We've got preview, sample, and sprite sheet. We do have sprite sheet info. Okay. So one pixel margin. Oh, is there a pixel margin on the right too? That would make it make sense why our numbers don't add up. Godot can't really deal with a margin in sprites though. We might need to somehow remove that 1 pixel margin, and I don't know a fast way to do that. Like we could do it with tiled pretty quickly if we, because tiled can deal with 1 pixel margins. We can try that. Let me just take a look at chat so I didn't get too far behind here. Yeah, this sample PNG is just a single file. The only directory here is sprite sheet, which is blue. That's how you know it's a directory. Where did I leave off here? Maybe in samples. Oh, okay, that was the last thing. Sorry, I need to leave this scrolled all the way down so it just adds things. I don't have to scroll all around. All right, so let's try removing this 1 pixel gap using tiled. So I guess let me run tiled. Hopefully I have that just on the command line. Where'd you go, tiled? Blinked for a second. Oh, here it comes. All right, opened on my other screen. We bring tiled over. So here I was doing a very sophisticated tile map there. I guess oh, okay, this was from when I was working on the Commander X16 version of Retro Tank Party. I'm making a version of Retro Tank Party for the Commander X16 8-bit computer. And so that's what I was doing in here. Built on 65CO2 assembly. I have a 6502 processor in this box. But anyway, that's not Godot. That's off topic. Still game dev though. All right, so let's make a new sprite tile set. We need a new tile set. We'll go down here. Based on a tile set image, yeah, 16 by 16 with a margin of 1. And we will open it from, not here. Let's get down to, we have our downloads directory, desktop, downloads. And this is in the Kenny folder. Can I type in here? Like, okay, sweet. Sprite sheet, transparent. I guess save as. We'll save it in here. Get out of our Retro Tank Party Commander X16 folder. Downloads, Kenny. We'll put it in the same folder here as the sprite sheet itself. All right, so let's verify that it did this right. That seems a little oddly aligned. Will those pants go right on our character? No, they won't. And we're getting a different gap in here? Kenny, what are you doing to us? Okay, so this isn't right. We'll have to adjust some of these properties. So maybe margin isn't what I wanted. Maybe spacing is what I wanted. Let's try this again. We'll open transparent. We'll do spacing instead of margin. I'm not entirely clear on what the difference is. Oh, and the tile size is wrong. I was using different tiles. Maybe that's the whole problem. Okay, let's go back to spacing 0, margin 1. Give this a second try. And why did it take me back to this directory? That's very annoying. Let's go to downloads, Kenny, sprite sheet, put it here. Yes, replace it. That still isn't right. We're getting subdivided shirts over here. Pants are still way off. I might just cut one of these sprites out and just throw it in the game and figure out how we're going to make these things line up a little bit later. See if anyone in chat has some good suggestions. In this pack, there's no PNG for individual characters. Very weird. Yeah, I know. Kenny does give that sometimes, but I guess he didn't this time, leaving us with a lot of work to clean this thing up. Okay, so these... This is already not right. Because I remember when I measured it, like coming all the way out to the end was 16 by 16, so it's putting... Oh, but then this one lines up perfectly. It's almost like it cut off a pixel on the left. Oh, so the margin must have taken the first pixel and then scooted everything down. Okay, maybe we want spacing instead of margin. Let's try that one more time. One more time, and then if this doesn't work, we will cheat. We'll copy one out just to get the right sizes. So 16 by 16. We'll get rid of margin. We'll say it's a spacing of 1. Save as. I don't know why it keeps taking us back to Retro Tank Party. We'll go again to download, Kenny, sprite sheet. Save, replace it. And what do we got? Ooh, that is looking better. Okay, so those guys seem to be perfectly aligned. Let's see if it continues all the way down to the bottom. Nope. Gets weird. Gets weird. It looks like starting with the... Or it was weird. Or is it fine? Was I just misreading? Was I misseeing these hats as part of the other character? Okay, well, let's see if the clothes worked. Those pants seem pretty far to the right. I guess I can try them. We'll try them. Let's make a new map. We'll try putting some pants on one of our characters. We want a new map. That's fine. I think... or actually, no. We want a really big map because we're eventually going to use this to remove the spacing entirely. So let's make this be like 55 by, I don't know, 20. That's probably too much, but we'll give it a shot. And for the millionth time, switching to the right directory. Nope, not Dropbox. It's got out Dropbox. Spreadsheet. And I don't know, characters. Okay, so let's zoom in here. Let's put together some characters. Why isn't our tile set here? Or here it is. There we go. I was looking in the wrong thing. And let's zoom this a little bit too. Zoom this one to 200. Drop a character on there. Let's see if we can put some pants on him. We need a new layer. Another tile layer. Pants. Those pants do not line up. Oh, this art kit's gonna need a lot of little changes to fix. They're over by 1 pixel. They're over by 1 pixel. So I guess I'm going with my backup plan. I'm going to just copy one of these out in like Pixelorama. I wonder if all of everything that isn't a body is just over by 1 pixel. Like if it's just 1 pixel off. These seem really far to the right though. I guess it should be over their right hand because they're carrying the shield. This also seems like it's missing a pixel on this side. Oof. Oof. All right, we'll do a very simple version. I might have to off stream do all of the repair that this art needs to really be able to get it into Godot. So we'll just cheat. We'll just cheat to get the right sizes. Or you know what? We could cheat by just taking these pre-built characters. That might be a nice way to do it. We'll take these pre-built characters and use those as random characters for the stream. And then off stream, I will fix all this art so that we can fully like really randomize our characters. Oh, Osman Pro's gotta go. Catch you later, Osman Pro. So let's go to Pixelorama, and we are just gonna copy these guys. And if I remember right, their heads go all the way to the top, right? No, they do not. There is a 2 pixel gap above their heads. Although, no, there isn't. On these ones, there isn't. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Or a 1 pixel gap? Or a 1 pixel gap because he's got a hat on? Let's try a 2 pixel gap and we'll see if that works. And if it doesn't, we'll come back and fix it. So I need this to go all the way down. Oh, I can't extend it? Does anyone know how to extend a selection in Pixelorama? Okay. Too used to using A-Sprite. We'll try to get it from a distance. Oh, come on. What? Why don't you let me select? What is going on here? Okay, there we go. Now we are selecting. Where's the crop tool? Image, crop image. Beautiful, not beautiful. I might end up opening up GIMP to do this. Okay, so here's our selection. Can you just use our selection to crop? Left tool, right tool. I do not know what's going on here. I want to crop to this selection. Okay, goodbye Pixelorama. We are going to exit without saving. We're going to open GIMP. And GIMP has its fun little toolbar thing, so we will need to split the window here. Let's make some space for it. We'll make our toolbox. Put a toolbox in here. Oops. Not that. That was Stream Tools. I want toolbox. There we go. And we will open up that same image. So where are we? We are in recently opened sprite sheet. Transparent. All right. So GIMP we are going to grab with a 2 pixel boundary, scrolling all the way down here. we're going to go to Image, Crop to Selection. And then we will export as a new image. We'll say pre-made characters. Yeah, just do it. Just do it. I'm not picky. Okay. And let's copy this over back into our game. Stream tools. We're going to copy from Candy Sprite Sheet where I stashed this pre-made characters. And it's going to go into assets. All right, back into Godot. And I'm going to leave this toolbar for GIMP there for a moment, because I don't know if I'll need to remove another like pixel above their heads or something. And of course, we have to re-import this as 2D pixel. All right, and now let's try to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 V frames and 2 H frames. Beautiful. It's really weird that it's like outside of the box. I wonder if I needed to remove one more pixel, like if there's a spacing pixel between them. Yeah, there is a spacing pixel between them, I think. Okay, so we got to do one more little modification to get these pre-made characters. We have to grab the character on the right. We're going to copy and paste them back, move them 1 pixel over. And then we need to change the image size. That would be under canvas size. We need to make the width be 32. It's a little weird that it's 119. Resize all the layers. That looks good. That should just take off that pixel. All right. So let's export over what we already did. However, I'm now worried that I screwed up the height because 119 is a really weird height to be divisible by 16. So let's do a little more math here. So if there are, how many V frames did we count? We counted 7 V frames. So we would expect, if there are no spacing, that this would be 116 by 17 to be 112, but instead we're 119. So that means we do have a spacing pixel that needs to be removed. Well, this is easier than fixing the whole thing. But actually, shouldn't this be fine? Because like if one spacing pixel is part of the repeat, like shouldn't it be, okay, let's divide this 119 by 7. That doesn't sound like it'll even out, but let's try it. 17, I should turn on decimal places to see if there's any fractional value here. No, that's perfect. Okay, 119 is fine. 119 is fine. We just have to offset it a little bit. The clean. As far as I know, Kenny usually includes tiles in separate files in addition to the one big sprite. Yeah, he just doesn't though for this one. I mean, this is the this is everything that was there. So we have a license file, we have a preview. Oh, you might not be able to see that because I have that banner on the bottom. Let me, here, we'll do like that. So we have license text, preview PNG, sample PNG, sprite sheet. Then we have these ones, and I made that pre-made characters, and I made this characters TMX and some of these other things. But there is no individual tiles with this one. Must have been a quick one-off that he did. Anyway, I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good with the changes that we made. Do I need to re-import this? Let me see. Re-import? Why are you still stuck like off the edge there? Let's try going, yeah, this is definitely not lined up. What's going on? File. Export to pre-made characters. Cool. Why are we still off here? Can Godot tell me what it thinks the size of this is? Can you guys read that? 33 by 119. It shouldn't be 33. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to delete this. We're going to copy this back in. And let's see what Godot says up in here. Still says 33. Oh, okay, so I overwrote it in the other directory. I didn't copy it back to the game. All right, we'll do that. That's what I'm missing. Always missing something stupid. That should get it going. All right, now we don't have that space. Okay. Close this texture. I don't want to see this anymore. I want to get to the animation. Animation. H frames, 2. V frames, 7. Sweet. Looks perfect. So now we can randomly pick any frame on this sprite, and it'll give us a different character. Go back to frame 0. So we'll put the sprite in here. We want it to not be down at this weird spot. We want to center it. And we can get rid of our color rect because we're not using that anymore. I guess let's not center it for a moment just to do a quick test. I want to test how big it appears full screen in the actual game. And I guess I can go over here and close GIMP so I can get rid of that, that frame on the side here, give us a little more screen space. All right, so that's too tiny. We want our characters to appear way bigger than that. So let's make it a little bigger. I guess that means we are going to scale it. Let's scale it to double size. See if it's updating. Yeah, it's updating automatically. That seems pretty good. I mean, still kind of tiny, but we'll want to, you know, not have them cover too much of the screen. So let's put a collision body, or collision shape, I mean, collision shape 2D. Let's go with it. We'll make this just be a simple rectangle shape. Let's put the sprite back to the center, since that's how we really want to deal with it in the actual code. And we'll make the collision shape be 16 by 16. All right. So for our floating character scene, we want to have them just kind of bounce around. So do we want to have the code on the character? I think we don't. I think we don't want to have the code on the character, at least for this one. We want to have the, or do we want to have it on the character? Then we'll need a different script every time we use this. Although I guess we can bust out the sprite, or maybe use some kind of inheritance or something to make this reusable. Let's just put the script right on the character. We won't worry about this being reusable quite yet. So what do we need to do? We are going to be doing some stuff on physics process. So let's start with that. Physics process. And we're going to need to store a vector for our movement. And we're going to need a start vector. Do we want that to come from us or from the outside? Let's just have it come from us for now. We'll move it to the outside if we need to later. We're going to randomly pick a vector. So vector 2. We want a random number from 0 to 1 for both of those. I always get confused about what the different random number functions do in Godot. So rand I gives us a random integer, but we want a random float. So rand f returns a random floating point number. Oh, perfect. That's exactly the interval we want. So rand f. And just in case that ends up being longer than 1, if the vector ends up being longer than 1, we want it to normalize it. So that will be our starting vector. We'll need to keep track of a speed for our little character, which I guess will be a float. I always like 400 pixels per second. I don't know why. That's always what I start on. And we're going to do move and collide. We're not going to do move and slide. Move and collide by our vector times our speed times our delta. And we'll need to add some code to check if we are going off the screen or not. But for now, let's just make sure that what we have so far works. Let's go to our floating character scene. We'll add a little script here too, where we'll just spawn a bunch of those. We'll spawn a bunch of our little characters. So we want to grab that scene. So our character scene, we'll preload the character.tscn here. And let's just say we'll spawn 10 of them. I guess I can just do range 10. And let's make our character as an instance of the scene. And we're going to add it to this scene. And then they should just start going. So let's give this a shot. And there they go! All right, so we need to have something happen when they bounce into each other. Although actually here, we need to randomize the starting position too, because I kind of noticed they all started in the left and went over. So we need to grab the size of the screen, which we can get from project settings. I wonder if there's something from the visual server that will tell us though. Let's go see if visual server, if it has a way to give us, I guess Godot will call it the window size. Let me just search window size. Okay, we'll Google. What any good programmer does, we'll Google Godot window size GDScript. How to get the screen dimensions? Oh, from 2016. This might be for an old version of Godot. We will see. Here we go. Okay, so we want the viewport or the window size. I'm actually not sure which one we want, because one will describe the actual pixels on screen, and one will describe sort of like the world position, which are different because we are scaling these things up. I'm not sure. Let's try both of them and see what we get. Let's go into our script for this scene, and let's just print this out, see what it is. Oop. Non-existent function get wrecked on viewport. Okay. So that must be some old Godot-ness. Let's search the help. We'll look for viewport. What is on viewport? Is there some kind of wrecked? Direct? Get visible rect? Returns the visible rectangle in global screen coordinates. I just have a feeling that's not what we want. Let's give it a try though. Do get visible rect. And that was 1024 by 576. That actually might be what we want, because that is what we set as the window dimensions, which would be kind of the virtual size, because it is actually much bigger than that. It is my screen size when we're looking at it here. And my screen size is 1920 by 1080. So that is the number we want. All right. So we will take that into our character script here, and we will use it to, we want a size 2. Or no, this is visible rect, so it's actually a rect 2. Rect 2. But we only care about the size. Can we just grab the size from it? Yeah, okay. So we'll say size 2. And we will randomly pick a position for us to be. Global position equals vector 2. This one we do want an integer, so we're going to say rand I modulo viewport width. Is it W or is it width? We'll see if that works. Rand I modulo viewport height. Size 2 is invalid. Well, whatever. What is this? Is it just a vector 2? I think it's just a vector 2, which then means this isn't W. This would be X and Y. In C++, there's a size 2. I always get confused about... Okay. int and float. So which of these doesn't rand_i return? Oh, this is a float. Vector always gives us a float. Okay, so this is the int. This is what we need to change here. Vector always gives us a float. Okay, that should work. So now we should randomly start somewhere on the screen, all over the place. Beautiful. Oh, what's going on here? Aknakos, I just downloaded to check, in this asset in specific, there's only the Atlas version. Yeah, unhappy face. Kenny does have so many asset packs, though. Sometimes some of them are weird. Like, I did this game jam. Elliot was involved in it too, actually, where we were using this Kenny pack that he made for Christmas. And it was terrible. I love Kenny, and all of his stuff is amazing. But he made this Christmas pack that looked cool. Like, it looked fine. But like nothing fit. Like it wasn't on a grid. None of the pieces fit together. It took like just so much messing with to get right. I'll show you guys this asset pack. We did the game jam in December, which is why we did a Christmas themed thing. This holiday kit, which it's fun. It looks cool. I have no idea how he connected these pieces together to make this sample here though, because like the pieces just don't fit. They like don't line up. And we did manage to actually use it. I have the game is actually on my itch page. It is this Santa's Very Careful Helper game. But yeah, I think he just was like, oh, I'll make a crazy Christmas pack, and just like threw it together in you know, an afternoon or something, and didn't put as much time into it as he puts into some of the others. And maybe that's kind of what happened with the characters that we're trying to use here too. All right. So we have our things appearing. We have the viewport size. We will. So I'm trying to decide, should we use the viewport size to try and keep our characters within the screen, or should we actually put something for them to collide with around the outside of the screen? The advantage of putting something for them to collide with on the outside of the screen is that we can write just one bit of code to deal with them bouncing off of each other, as opposed to having, you know, like a conditional where one bit of code does the bouncing off the edges of the screen and the other one does the bouncing off of other characters. And there's something very tempting about just having one thing where we just put like some collision shapes around the outside. I don't know. Let's start simple. We'll start by having the two branches of code. So we'll have to say if and we'll need to know how big we are. So we'll need to know our sprite size as well, our sprite dimension. So this will be like sprite size. This will be like viewport size. And this will be, let's grab our sprite into an onReady variable. Switch to this one for it to give us the autocomplete there. And sprite, can we get the sprite dimensions? Do we have to get it from the texture? Size? Get size. Autocomplete for the win. All right, so we have to say, is the position minus the sprite size less than the viewport size on each dimension, both x and y? And if so, then we want to invert our vector. Yeah, this could end up being just like one giant conditional here. So if, is there a way I can get away with doing both of them together? Probably not. Yeah, I think we have to write out each and every one. So this will be a very big conditional. So if we say if position x minus sprite size x, is it half of x? Yeah, I think it would be half of x. Minus half of x. If that is less than 0, because the viewport always starts and ends at 0, or if position x plus sprite size x divided by 2 is greater than viewport size x, or position y minus sprite size y divided by 2 is less than 0, or position y plus sprite size y divided by 2 is greater than viewport size y, then we are going to invert our vector. Vector equals vector. In which way are we inverting it? I guess the simplest possible way. Let's see what that does. There's a lot of ways to invert a vector. We could reflect it, which then we would need to know the normal of the surface that it's colliding with, and I don't know. Let's just see what this does. Ooh, that's not working. That's not right. Okay, if position x minus sprite size divided by 2 is less than 0, or if position plus sprite size divided by 2 is greater than viewport size y, how could this give the behavior that we're seeing? Minus plus. All right, let's maybe start with one dimension. We will simplify our conditional. We'll simplify our conditional here. We'll just do one part of this. If it goes below 0, some number of them are inevitably going to head in that direction, and we will see what happens. It was a negative vector. Let's give this a shot. Why do we only have one? Oh, because we're running just this scene. We need to run the outer scene, the floating character scene. So we get a whole bunch of them. So I get stuck here. Oh, I know what it is. We need to not only invert the vector, we need to also move them out of being off the side of the screen. Otherwise, it's just going to keep inverting the sprite. All right, let's see what Mr. CDK. The texture size isn't the same as the sprite size because of the animation frames. You are absolutely correct. Okay, so the sprite size, would that just be... Let's take a look at sprite node. Thank you, Mr. CDK. So the sprite node, does it have something we can grab off of it that gives us its dimensions? We're also scaling it too, so that's interesting. Region? No, that's for cutting just part of the sprite. What can we get here? Let's jump to the help and see what we can get. Where the heck is the help? We'll just search in here. Sprite. So region. No, that's again the region thing. Get rect. What is this? Returns a rect2 representing the sprite's boundary and local coordinates. Can be used to detect if the sprite was clicked. Okay, well, we're not dealing with clicking, but get rect seems like the method we want here. So sprite size will be sprite get rect. What else did I miss in chat? Just testing Godot with an offset of 0.5 by 0.5. Everything works. Cool. Everything but characters is off by 1 pixel to the right. It's a 10-second fix. Okay, so the clean. Let me see if I can try and redo what you just did. So you are saying you're taking the original sprite and going to offset, although I don't usually think of offset as being used in this way. We'll do 0.5, and then we are going to just split this up. Or were you doing it as a tile map, or were you doing it in a sprite? So we decided there were 55 of these. Whoa, that looks beauteous. Okay, so what is offset in this context doing? So I always think of offset as whether we're centering it or not, right? In this case, the offset is just moving us over a half a pixel. If I get rid of this, then we're off here. And then how many tall was this? It was, these ones are 7, then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is not exactly right, because this frame is here and this one, or wait, no, let's move to, we get the next person. Yeah, these are all like misaligned still. That didn't totally fix it. That fixes like the first column, but it still is kind of messed up. And like even this guy, like I switched from this one to this one, they're a half pixel different, which is weird. I still think this is going to need a bunch of repair work on the actual texture. Mr. CDK, just around the screen with Cloud is a call today. Yeah, you know, I've definitely used that approach. I'm going to try it this way this time. In the graphic editor, move everything but characters 1 pixel to the left. Move everything but characters 1 pixel to the left. So that's Pixelorama, opening it up, moving it 1 pixel to the left. That will make all of the things be aligned. Let's give that a shot. Pixelorama. I want to be in the sprite sheet here. Or maybe I should have done it in the GIMP. As I've proven, I am not very good at Pixelorama. Open last project? No, okay, I haven't saved a project. File, open. Parent, yeah, do this. So let's see. We grab everything but the characters, move it 1 pixel to the left. I guess I gotta zoom way the heck out. Why isn't that still selected? What's going on here? Select, then let me move it 1 pixel. That was 1 pixel, I could see it up there. Or to the left, you said. That moved it 1 pixel to the right. Let's move it from 45. I went too far. 43, okay. And let me try, I'll save this as something else. Not as a Pixelorama project. Okay, what do they call it here? Do they call it exporting? They do. Export as. Put it in the sprite sheet. Transparent, we'll call it transparent 2. How about that? And let's give this a shot. So I have to copy that over to the project. That was roguelike transparent 2 to assets. All right, so we'll get rid of this one again. We will take roguelike transparent 2, copy it in. I gotta re-import that. And let's do this up. So sprite, offset, 0.5, 0.5. I did the wrong thing, not sprite, not sprite. This sprite, which I just added, 0.5, 0.5. And let's set the animation frames. It was 55 by, I think we decided it was 12. Okay, so now let's try this. This still seems off here. Like, so I moved everything but the characters. So maybe, are we just saying the characters are messed up? Because this is like a half pixel wrong when I switch to that frame. Yeah, and these are still misaligned. I might be missing a step. I might be missing this. Oh, it's 54. Okay, hang on. H frame is 54. Let's try that. Okay. Sweet. And did these actually line up? Like, can I put pants on them? These still seem like 1 pixel too far. Maybe I didn't successfully slide them over that pixel. Let's try, I'll try putting some pants on the guy. We'll duplicate and On the animation. Yeah, the pants are still over. So maybe I didn't actually successfully drag that over a pixel. Let's try it again. So I'm looking up here when I'm dragging. It shows me where my angle is starting. So I went from 43 to 42. And let's export here. Copy that over. Godot should re-import. Or did it? Look like transparent. Import. Pants are still the pants are still in the wrong spot. What am I doing wrong? I mean, we can cheat. We can you know, slide this over. Oh jeez, of course I have it like non-square pixel position. That doesn't help us. But slide this one over. Try and put some pants on the guy. This is almost right. I think we can officially declare the clean as the winner of this stream. Figuring out how to clean this up. I think whatever is still messed up is something I'm doing wrong. Let me move these to like a round pixel position. We'll put it at 0x and like -20y. Okay, even further. We'll go -50y. And the other one at 0, -50, and then we'll move it over 1 -x. It's got some pants. Our little guy's got some pants. And a shirt? Sweet. Okay. A beard? There we go. That'll put some more, you know, get a beard and clothes, and I can be that guy. Thank you, Clean. All right, but I don't think I'm going to keep this in what we're working on at exactly this moment. I'm going to move these to a separate scene so I can save it and come back to it later. I guess we'll do like, we'll put just a node 2D in here, and we will drag these two under there, and we will save this branch as a scene. This will be, I guess, we'll call it character clean. And I don't need it in here. I'll just get rid of it from the scene. Sweet. And we'll bring that back. We'll bring that character clean back, depending on how far we get. I want to get them bouncing around. And if we have time to work on the randomizing thing, we will bring back that scene and keep messing around with it. I think what we'll end up doing is we'll make a separate sprite for each of the like layers on the character, and then figure out what the range is for those frames. It might actually be kind of nice to take the texture and actually break it up into different sections for each of the sets of frames. Then we don't have to worry about the numbers. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. So we've got our character, our sprite size. We need to reverse the vector, and we need to move them back into the screen. How are we going to do that? Well, we got here by moving and colliding this way, so I think we might be able to just like move and collide again to bring us back out from where we were. Let's give that a try. So are we in the right scene? We want the floating character scene. Let's see. What did I do wrong? Invalid index on rect. Oh, okay, so this is a rect. We don't want a rect, we want a size. Yeah, I think that's what we want. I hope it's what we want. So this one got stuck in the wall. How are we moving our characters back out there? So the move and collide. Oh, I wonder if it just started over there. Okay, so we got to make sure that the viewport, we'll just always call this viewport size. I kind of like that better. Viewport size. And we'll make sure that we do not spawn character. So we don't want to go all the way to the end. We want to go, oops. Okay, so I guess this would be sprite size x divided by 2. Make sure the divided by 2 happens first. Come on. Let me write some parentheses there. Auto-completing. And we also want to, or no, not divided by 2. Okay. Okay, I got this. So we want to do it plus sprite size x plus the random integer modulo minus the sprite size, and this we want to be half. This we want to be half. I think. Feel free to check my math. I am always happy to take suggestions and corrections from the stream. I tend to do stupid things when I'm on stream because I get a little nervous. This is only my 16th stream, or what number stream is this? I still get nervous. Sprite size y. And that should keep us within the screen to start with. And none of them are going to the left. I wonder why none of them are going to the left. Because we're only doing positive values. Okay, so we need 1 minus this number times 2. That will get us some negative values. 1 minus this number times 2. All right, so now we should get some going to the left. Oh, we got one going to the left. Not in a... Whoa. Where are you guys coming from? All right, let's bring back our full conditional here and just see if we've got it now with these other changes, and see if they be bouncing around. We're still getting stuck. And oh, and the move and collide. Okay, they're getting stuck on the move and collide. Okay. We're getting there. We have them bouncing off the edges. Good work, team. Oh, rand range. Thanks, Aknakos. Yeah, I always just get mixed around on which random method to use. Let's check out rand range and see how that works. Rand range from 2 floats. That would make the code way more readable. Let's switch to Aknakos' version here. So I wrote this as 1 minus randf times 2, but instead that could just be rand range from negative 1 to positive 1. And we'll just delete this because it's easier to retype. And that is way easier to read and understand for people who are going to come look at the code. They don't have to think through the math. So I like it. That's good. And that should work exactly the same. And then we just have to do the thing where we're going to reflect the vector or reverse the vector or whatever once we have collided. So we need to get the collision data. I forget what exactly that is. So we'll go here. It is a kinematic collision 2D. And let's see what data we get from it. We get a collision normal, which we could use to do reflection. Remainder, I don't think we need that in this case. Or we could just invert the vector like we've been doing and see exactly what that does. So okay, move and collide will return what? Moves the body, blah blah blah. If it returns it to will it always return a kinematic collision 2D, or will it only return it if it collides? I guess let's find out. Let's try saying if collision data. Then we will do our same vector reversey thing and see what happens. Hey! Got our people bouncing around. There we go. They're moving, I don't know, maybe a little bit fast. And I guess we don't need the collision data because we're not using the normal vector for anything. because we're not doing reflections. Although the fact that we're not doing reflections, like watch this person here just keeps bouncing back and forth this way forever, which is kind of boring. It is legitimately kind of boring. We might want to do a reflection instead of just inverting the vector, because it's like a pinball. They just never stop doing exactly that. Let me take a look at the chat real quick, though. Yeah, Knakos! Awesome Pro HD sending his congrats. Hey, Just Sid 2080, fellow Godot coder, awesome. Thanks for coming to hang out. By the way, guys, like, I would love to know what you guys are working on. Feel free to drop info about your game projects with links or whatever. Like, that's cool with me. I'd love to hear what everyone's doing. All right, so whoa! I just got a little bring in the air. Thanks for subscribing, whoever that was. Let me let me gather myself after being bringed there and figure out how we're gonna do this reflection. So there's a bunch of reflection methods on vector 2. So reflect returns the reflected vector from a plane defined by the given normal. So I think we can get the collision normal from the collision data and reflect our vector by the normal. So we call it on our vector and we give it the normal. So let's give that a shot. So that would be in character. Instead of this code, we'll say vector equals vector reflect by the collision data normal, which let's get the autocomplete in here so that I know I typed that. It's just called normal. Good. All right, let's give that a shot. That might give us a little more interesting bouncing around here. Ooh. Well, something's not quite right with that. Yeah, that's not quite right. Okay, reflections are a pain in the ass. I'm gonna go look at how I did the reflections in Retro Tank Party with the railgun, because I did some reflection stuff in there. We won't need to run it, so let me just open normal Godot. Let's go check out mods, core, weapons, railgun. You may notice this folder is called mods. That's because Retro Tank Party does have mod support that I have not documented, so nobody else can create mods, but it does have it. Internally, even the core content is a core mod. So anyway, I think... So here we're doing a raycast. I don't know... Okay, so we're using this vector bounce. We're using vector bounce on the collision normal rather than... and we're normalizing it. Do we need to normalize it? If it's coming out not normalized, then yeah, that would be a problem. Let's just try doing that change really quick. Let's just say, let's normalize this reflection vector and see if that fixes it. Otherwise, we'll try using the bounce method instead. Nope, we're still getting weird behavior there. Okay. Rather than reflect, let's do bounce. Which I think is just another way of calculating reflection. Oh, there we go. That is nice. And look at this complex behavior we're getting from this guy over here. Perfect. That's looking good. All right, let me see what you guys are working on. Just Sid 2080. Don't do game projects. Oh, you're just a month into coding. Wow, well, congrats to getting into coding. Sweet, you're doing web development. Just made a GitHub account today. I do web development as my primary source of income, so I'm right there with you. I do a little bit of contract game dev, but not nearly as much as I would prefer to do. Aknakos is mostly playing with Godot 4 and making videos of things coming up. Ooh. Yeah. I will go check out your channel later, Aknakos, and see what you got going on. How did you implement mod support? Did you eval GD or other things like expect resources Lua or some other things? So I actually put together the modding support on a stream. It was several months ago, but it's using the technique where you make a PCK file that you drop in a special spot, and on when the game starts, it loads that PCK file and just fills up the extra data into like the resource virtual direct file system. So puts new things in resource : / and it looks for anything placed within anything placed within this mods folder. So if you made a different mod, you would have a PCK file that made like a new directory rather than core. You'd have a different directory, and you would put whatever subdirectories for whatever the kind of thing you're making, and it would it iterates through every folder that it finds in mods, and then every different type of thing, looking for whatever it needs for that type of thing. So if like you're making a new game mode, it looks for .tres files that are of a custom resource type that define the game mode. And if you're doing a map, it looks for, I guess, also TRES files. Some of them are a little bit different. I guess this one's also looking for TRES files. Maybe I standardized on TRES files. But the different TRES files will have different things you need to fill in. Like for the spread weapon, you have to put in a bullet scene and a weapon script, and those things define how the weapon works. So at some point, I will make a tutorial and some documentation on how mods work in the game, so that other people can make some cool mods. I know Elliot's been saying he wants to make pizza tanks since forever. Ooh, the Clean is making a VR game where you run through the room and shoot the targets as fast as you can. Cool. So the Clean, I am really into VR. You may have noticed my Quest 1 headset here. I have a Quest 2 sitting over there. I can't quite reach it from where I have with this cord. But yeah, I don't know how I got stuck for so long on this Retro Tank Party game. I'm having fun working on the Retro Tank Party game. Don't get me wrong. I'm having tons of fun, and doing all of this different networking stuff is really cool, and I'm enjoying it. But like, I really desperately want to finish this project and go back to working on VR games. I have a whole bunch of stuff I want to work on, and I'm also the maintainer of the WebXR support in Godot, and there's a whole bunch of things I want to finish in WebXR in Godot Core that I want to work on. Some performance improvements I want to make, some AR features I want to get in there. So yeah, cool. It's awesome you're doing VR stuff. I'd love to see your project. If you have any links of your in progress stuff, I'd love to check it out. Yeah, thanks. Aknako's quite nice design. Totally get the stream, bud. Yeah, I don't remember which stream it is, but if you keep going back, you'll eventually find the one where we were working on modding support. All right, so we got our bouncing. I think I'm liking this. I wish that was not hanging out here. That's saying someone pinged me in the Godot contributor chat. I'll go check that out later. Now it's just blocking up the stream forever with this red box. But we have our guys bouncing around. I think that's good. I think the next thing we need to do is to actually integrate this with chat. We need to spawn a little person in there every time someone says something in chat, and we need to randomly pick a different frame. So actually the randomly picking a different frame is something we can just straight up do right now. So this would be like sprite frame equals, we'll use, we can't use rand range. I guess we can cast that to an int. Do rand range, because now that I know about rand range, I'm liking it. Or no, I don't know. Let's do this old school. We'll do this simple and old school. Rand range doesn't really help when we're just getting a single integer. We'll do it old school. Do rand I for however many frames we have. So let's go back to the character scene. Let's see how many frames. I guess that's 14. Let's just make sure that's, or we're going from 0 to 14, I think, or 0 to 13. 0 to 13. So I think modulo 14 is the right thing to do, because we can get a 0 that way. So let's go back to our script. 14. And let's just make sure that does what we want it to do. I'm on the wrong scene. There we go. We got all different kind of guys in there. The movement is really choppy. I wonder why that is. Do we have like a really low physics tick or something? Why is that being just so terribly choppy? Or it could just be because I'm streaming, but let me just check this quick. Search Or we'll search for FPS, I think. 60? Why is that being so choppy? I'm not sure. Not super important at this exact moment. So all we need to do is spawn a character. Oh, and we need a name. We need to put a name on our characters. Let's do that real quick. Need a label. And we'll say name label. How much time do we have? 20 minutes. Oh, what's going on in chat here? Oh, your game is actually finished clean? Congrats. Finishing a game is tough. And you're going to publish it on SideQuest. Cool. Definitely send me a link. I would love to try that out. I imagine if you're publishing on SideQuest, that means it's also going to be on itch. So yeah, drop me the link. That would be so cool. Aknakos, great job with WebXR. Thanks. Yeah, you know, I don't know if Oculus always had this or it's new, but I only discovered it like a month ago. There's a way to stream from your headset to the Chrome web browser. So I think it would be cool to do some streams where we actually work on WebXR stuff. I think that could be fun. The reason that I hadn't done it previously is I'm thinking like, well, I have the Quest, like how am I going to show what I'm seeing on stream? And I hadn't quite figured that out. But now I have that figured out, so maybe we could do some WebXR development sometime. All right, so we want to get this label, I guess, above our characters' heads. We want to use the font we've been using, probably not the saved resource. Actually, you know what? I should be snapping to pixels here. Use pixel snap. Because I'm sure I put this label in some weirdo spot here. Let's go to rect. Yep, I totally did. Okay. We'll pixel snap now. Drag that up here. That looks much nicer. And we want to do a custom font, dynamic font, font data. We'll drag our guy over there. And we'll put some test text in here so we can see what it looks like. Name. That's a pretty good size even, actually. Let me make the box a little bigger. And we can just, we know that it is, okay, so it's 70. So then I know that I want it -45. And, or, no, what? That's weird. If it's 70, -45 would seem like what I want. Oh, because we're positioning from this spot rather than the center. Can I set up my anchors so I'm positioning from the center? Would that be 5? No, that didn't do what I want. All right, screw that. We'll just position it by hand. And we will center our name. That looks good enough. Character. We'll grab that node. Name label. Name label. And so we're not grabbing into the internals of this node from the outside. We'll just do a quick setter method here. So name label. Or no, I can't do that. There's already a method called setName for setting the name of the node. So name label text equals name. That should be good. And cool. So let me just make sure that that doesn't look crazy for some reason when we actually run the scene, since putting controls mixed in with 2D nodes. Oh no, looks perfect. Looks fine. Cool. You know, I don't like how when it hits the side of the screen, it's just reversing the vector. Like, look at this guy's just gonna bounce here forever because we're not doing our bounce there. But in order to do the bounce, we'd have to actually use the normals for each of the edges to make it bounce the same. And I don't feel like writing that much code right now. We'd have to be like, if you go over this edge, then use a vector pointing to the right as the bounce normal. Anyway, we've got 15 minutes. Let's see if we can get this working before we run out of time. Oh, cool. Aknakos does full stack dev. Yeah. So I guess, you know, we have a lot of web developers in our crew here. Justin Sid 2080. If you ever need any help or advice, maybe come hang out on the on the Discord, we can chat web dev a little bit. If it gets like out of hand, we can make a special channel just for chatting about web dev. So re-engaging my brain, we need to go back to our chat scene. I think eventually I'd like to make like sort of switchable layers so the chat scene isn't only one thing at a time. But we're going to go here. We're going to hide our chat text box, and we are going to leave this code here. But we are going to add an extra little function for spawn character. And we want to take the name. So spawn character, we'll say chat name. Sounds like a good variable name. And I guess we need to load up our character scene. And let's see if I can auto-complete my way there. Yes, I can. And so we'll make a new character. Instance that guy up. We'll do character set name label chat name add child character. What are you complaining? Oh, I did a typo. Character. All right, and then all we need to do is in these, I guess it'd be nice to make a more reusable way to inject this, but it's the end of the stream. We're just going to do things fast. Do spawn character. We'll throw in the author name from each of these different messages we get from the Restream API. So spawn, is this the same? Nope, display name. Spawn character. Event payload display name. And character. And I guess we might not actually be able to get the name for that particular person. Oh, and we need to not spawn new characters for old people. So that we can actually embed in this method. We'll need to keep a dictionary. We'll say like characters. And we'll say if characters has, or actually want not has, if not characters has chat name, then we will spawn a new character. And then we'll set them into the characters dictionary. Character. What are you complaining at me about? Okay, that was just something that needed to save there. So, the moment of truth. Let's give this a shot. Somebody say something in chat. Let's see if a character appears. Oh, what's going on in chat over here? Not sure if YouTube will let me paste links here. Oh yeah, YouTube is not good about links. Osman Pro HD, I wish I was a web dev too. There is a lot of work for web devs. You want to become a web dev, it's not a big that big of a leap from being a Oh no! I see that the clean said some stuff, but it did not appear. We crashed the thing. Invalid set text. Oh, yes, I cannot set name label before ready has fired, and ready hasn't fired because we haven't added it to the thing. All right, guys, that was some quick sanity checking on my code there. We have to add it as a child, which will cause the scene's ready function to fire, which will create the label and set the label to, actually I think the label will actually be created in instance. The label exists, but it won't be assigned to our variable until the onReady method is called on our character. Otherwise, that will give us that exception. So all right, let's try it again. All right, give it a shot again. Let me catch up on chat while I'm waiting for you guys to for the video delay to go here. Discord bot didn't like this link. Discord has always let people put links in there. Aknakos, I don't think I'm in the Discord. Is there a link for that somewhere to enter? Yes! You should be seeing it. Is it not on the bottom of the screen? The Discord link should be here. Snowpackgames/Discord. Oh, here we go. Who do we got? We got the Clean. We got Osman Pro HD. We've got Aknakos bouncing around. So we can try and overlay this on the stream. I don't know if I should do this during the stream. It will probably crash the stream, but let's try. Let's go for it. I'm in OBS here, trying to do a. I want a window capture. Oh yeah, let's add this existing one. This should work. I just have to move it over to a different screen. Stream tools. All right, so I cannot look at this at the same time as it is running, or look at the chat, actually, unfortunately, because OBS won't pick it up unless it is on its own screen somewhere, and I only have 2 screens. I have a 3rd screen. I actually have it right here. But I'm having trouble getting it to work with my Ubuntu machine for whatever reason. I'm screwing around with drivers and stuff. But eventually, I will have a 3rd screen that I could keep Stream Tools open on. But ideally, you guys are seeing your little characters bounce on top of what we're doing over here. So let me exit out of here, and I'll see if you guys are telling me that that's what's happening. Let me get back to the chat. It's working! Sweet! I'm going to have to watch the stream later for me to actually see it. So what else is going on? Whole bunch of tests. Hey, can you make them slower? I absolutely can make them slower, Osman Pro HD. That's what I'm here to do. Taking Godot requests. So I have their speed set at 400. We can make it half the speed. Yeah, it was kind of fast for actually being able to see the names. So let's try half the speed. I'll just test it really quick. I can't test it from this scene. Let me go to my test scene here. Yeah, that's kind of nice. And the jitter that I'm getting for whatever reason is less obvious. So let's give this a try with the actual thing. I will get it going. I will make it green. Move it to my next screen over here. Stream tools. And I guess say some stuff, guys. Let's see if it gets on there. I'm just gonna get chat up on my phone so that I can still see what's going on in chat. Well, ooh, we got somebody coming. Aknakos bouncing around. Let me know what you guys think of the new speed, and actually, absolutely, let me know if it's working. I'll just sort of sneak a peek to see if I can see it working. Okay, I think I saw in OBS it working for a second before it took it away. Geez, do I have a Restream app on here or something? No. Maybe I can go to the YouTube app because most everyone's on YouTube. I don't know. Well, I see you're appearing. Let me know in the chat when I go back to it if you're seeing it on top of the screen as it's supposed to be. I hope so. I'm going to watch the stream later to see if I can see it. Also, let me know if the characters are big enough. Now that I'm seeing it like full screen over here, I'm wondering if maybe they should be bigger, but like I also don't get the perspective of seeing how much of, you know, our actual work is getting covered. Because the idea would be, you know, maybe we could run this during the stream and have the characters kind of like fade out after a period of time. So that like when you chat, a bunch of people appear on the screen and then fade away, and then some more chat comes through and they appear and fade away, something like that. Oh, I can read the chat over here out of the debug text. All right, I gotta close this so that I can come and read the chat normally. It's hard to read the names because of the normal text in Godot's screen. Oh yeah, because the color. Can we do an outline around the text? That would look nice. I hope it would look nice. I've not done outlines around fonts in Godot before. If it's not a setting, we can write a shader to do it. I don't know that I could write a shader in the next 6 minutes, but that is a possibility. Let's see. Font settings, outline, here we go. If we do a 1 pixel outline, definitely not white. We'd like that to be black. Let me see, does it make sense to be 2? 2 might be good. We get a bunch of sub-pixel aliasing, but that might be fine. Let's give this a shot. I will go back to the chat scene. I will run the chat scene. Green, there we go. And I'll move it over here. Gotta keep chatting, guys, to keep things going here. All right, I have it open. We will see if this text looks clearer once some folks start get chatting. I can't trigger it myself. Oh, there we go. All right, so we've got NEP. Is that Mr. Nick Purvis? I did not check in chat if that was a Facebook message or who that is, but if it is Nick, hey, how's it going? We haven't chatted in a while. If it's someone else, sorry. Let me know in the chat how that's looking. I can't see the chat while I am running this. The clean, there goes the clean. We definitely got to get randomize some weapons in there. I'd love to see some big axes going with each of the characters. All right, I'm going to close it now so I can see chat again. Hey, that is Mr. Nick Purvis. Sweet. Yeah, okay, Aknakos, it's looking good with the text. I'm very happy about that. Cool. I'm glad that we did it in this order, that we started with the characters bouncing around as a first kind of step, because I will totally use that next stream when I'm doing the countdown, and maybe even throughout the stream if I find out, come up with a different way to read chat. Maybe I'll have like a separate laptop that will have the chat on it, and then this screen over here will have to be completely taken up with running that app, because I can't capture it unless it's on a screen. Or maybe in a week I'll figure out how to get my third screen working. I don't know. But yeah, this is cool. We have a thing that works. The ultimate goal, like I was telling at the beginning of the stream, I don't know how many people who are here now were at the beginning of the stream, is to not just have them floating around, but to have them like walking around in a little environment, like doing things. So we have these like little sprites that have like a piano and some tables and cabinets and a stove and whatever. And it would be cool to have the little characters just sort of like milling around in this house, doing things, Could be cooking for a little bit, could be playing a piano. Of course, it'll be super abstract because these characters are not animated in any way from this asset pack. So it'll just sort of be like, we could have them like walk to a little space and then sort of like stop, or put like a little like doing things cloud, like in cartoons, they'll be doing things, it'll be just sort of like a cloud of activity above them. So that's how they'll play the piano or cook or something. I don't know. But I'm really excited about the possibilities of that. And that is something that I will either have to do off stream or next stream, because we are running out of time. We usually do these until noon Central Daylight Time, and that is in 2 minutes. So unless you guys have anything else you want me to mess with, we messed with the making the text a little clearer, whatever, or have anything else that you want to chat about, like with Godot or networking or whatever, let's end this stream in a little bit. I'm just gonna commit what we've done today to Git, and you'll be able to get it. Almost all of the game dev work that I do is posted on GitLab, open source. If I haven't put it in there, I very much intend for this project to be licensed under the MIT license. So hang on, let me just think for a moment while I add this to Git. I can't think and type at the same time. I'm not that multi-talented. So we are getting this from pre-made characters. The other ones we are not using yet. I need the import file. I need source characters. I need source chat. Lowercase chat. We'll add the project and the autoload. And I guess I did use this transparent 2 in a scene that was based on what the clean figured out for that, so I will add those 2. And then we just don't need the characters one because that one we didn't manage to get working. So let me commit. And we today have added floating characters when someone chats. Oops. And we'll push this up to GitLab. And because for the first time ever, we are not rushing to get something finished at the end of the stream, I'll take a moment and send you guys the link that you can get the code for this particular project that we have been working on. Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for all of the nice work, great stream, all of that stuff that you guys are throwing in there. Agnakos, I wonder if it's a good idea to put talking balloons in the characters with whatever we say in chat. Oh, that'd be so cool. I don't know if I'll do it. Because my worry always is if I give too much incentive for chatting, that people will put inappropriate things on there. And I know you guys are totally cool, but we have had people wander by on Twitch and just say random junk. And if someone wanders by through Twitch or one of the other services, whatever, and then just starts saying like offensive or racist stuff, and now it's appearing on top of the stream, and I can't edit it out without like blacking out the whole screen. So I'm very nervous about putting the actual text on the screen as a part of the thing that we normally do. But that would be so cool. Like if the characters were moving around and then the bubble just went boop and had like exactly what was said, that would be boss. I would love that. Oh yeah. Thanks, the Clean. Clean says you can send the APK and the fixed sprite sheet on Discord. Yeah, definitely. Aknokos, yeah, it's too dangerous. It'd be so cool though. Maybe we could do a thing where people with certain roles in Discord can have their character text appear on there. Because let's look at the Restream API really quick. We do get some extra information from Discord that could be helpful. Here, let's go to, this is in the chat API, events. We want to see, just search Discord. Of course, if I spell it right. No. It's like Discord event type, Discord type, event type, payload, Discord text. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so the payload from Discord totally includes the roles. This is, of course, aggregating chats from everywhere, from YouTube, from Facebook, from Periscope, from Twitch. But I have complete control over Discord, right? Like we can give roles to people who are regulars and who we trust, and say if they have a particular role, then we do the bloop with the chat bubble. That'd be so cool. I think we have to do that. Maybe that will be what we work on next stream. I'll figure out I'll create the roles in Discord and figure out how to assign them, and anyone who wants to be involved in that, who who's a regular, whose name I recognize, come ping me on Discord, and I'll assign you the like special stream chat role or whatever I end up making. Cool. This was a great stream, guys. Thanks so much for coming. Next week, because we have so many cool ideas, we might end up working on the chat thing again. Or I'm hoping that I'll get back to working on network physics for Retro Tank Party. So we might end up doing some of that on stream. I don't know. If you guys have a preference, stop by in Discord and let me know if you would prefer to see more chatbot work or going back to network physics or more deep networking topics like we were doing with Retro Tank Party over the previous, 10 streams or whatever. But yeah. Thanks again, guys. Thanks so much for coming. I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.